Yay! Happy holidays!
Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Welcome into the Colourwerx Dezign Haus. I'm Linda.
And I'm Carl.
There's a hand here. There he is, Carl. And we're coming to you live from Palm Springs, California. It is today, Friday, December 19th. Woo! I don't know. I mean, Christmas just came up all of a sudden. What is there, like 4 or 5 days left till we hit the big day?
Gotta start shopping.
I know.
Gotta start shopping.
We have just been busy. Today's a show. We're going to review where we've been in December. We've been traveling. We went to visit the lovely Desert Lily Quilters in Yuma, Arizona. And then we took a side trip to Scottsdale. And we're going to show you all that. As well as we've been just super busy working on some projects for 2026. Catching up in the house. We finally did something with our fireplace that made it look a little bit more modern. You can see that on our Instagram account and Facebook account. We added some fireballs, basically, and some fire glass. It's not that unusual, but they do look a lot better with the tile work that we did 3 years ago. So there was that. I don't know. We've been traveling with Coco. She's doing really well.
Coco,
what's Coco? Coco's busy licking.
Licking.
Coco.
And she's got a stock in there, but she's like,
hello.
She's not too bothered with the stocking. Oh, no, here we go. Now you did it.
What can you say?
Now you did it.
So we've been traveling with Coco. We do have our Bright Friday sale going on still. We don't believe in Black Friday. So the Bright Friday sale is still going on where you can save 15% off everything in the Colourwerx shop throughout the weekend. And again, this is from a long time ago when we used to own Lindarella's Quiltworks in North Carolina, Pinehurst, North Carolina. So if anybody's checking in from Pinehurst, hello. hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to
or
everybody. And so we call it Bright Friday instead of Black Friday.
We have to be bright.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And we also want to give a shout out to Road to California. We're going to be there in January. That's the other thing we've been doing this month is getting ready for Road to California, ordering different fabrics in to make bundles and getting the patterns ready, getting the booth ready. I have to get my teaching materials ready. So that's going on January 21st through the 24th. It's always the week of Martin Luther King Day holiday. That week in Ontario, California. And I hope you'll come out and see us because we'll be vending there as well. It's a great show, and Matt does a really super great job. And then the other thing, I have a sneak peek to show you. So this is a little project coming to the Thread Matters Aurifil blog in January, the very 1st of January, where I'm going to talk about using beautiful Aurifil thread because, of course, I'm an Aurifilosopher this next year where I get to lecture about thread and do education and things like that. So this is a little blog that I just finished writing. You're getting a sneak peek of the project that will be on the Thread Matters blog starting at the 1st of January, talking about, of course, beautiful Aurifil 40 weight thread and using your decorative stitches to help you achieve a kind of embellishment and texturizing look to all of your applique shapes. It just adds a little more zing to those shapes. So let's see, is anybody checking in from anywhere else? Anybody want to give a shout out there? Let us know if we're streaming well and that you can hear us well. We're going to do a combination of probably some videos today and some other things. Oh, Betsy Barker, good morning. And it looks like Tammy Kittle is checking in too. Good morning to you. And Carl, of course, I'm going to give Carl a little reminder. If you click on those, I think they will appear on the screen. I hope. I don't know. There we go. So there's Betsy's comment. Now we're getting technology going this morning. And Tammy. And who is that? Oh, Marianne Brown. Good morning from Yuma, I believe. Yes. Well, that segues, Marianne. You just segued me right into our next topic here because we've been traveling with Coco. She's left the room, apparently. I guess she's bored of her parents. But we have been traveling, and we went to visit the great, awesome group of Desert Lily Quilters in Yuma, Arizona at the 1st of December. This is our second time visiting this group. I taught my Wonky and Curvaceous Cosmos workshop to them. And there you can see some of the already finished Cosmos quilts. I only taught this on December 5th. Look at that. We've got Nancy C., Marianne, which is Marianne Brown checking in, Nancy D, I think, and Carol's finished Cosmos blocks. And they are such a fun group. I just wanted to show a little video again of how much fun we had. And so there was... Oh, sorry. I was reading comments. So that was a really, really fun time in Yuma, Arizona. And then, of course, we took the opportunity to go from the awesome group of Desert Lily Quilters, which was super fun. And we shot over to, if you can say it like that, shot over to Scottsdale and went to the Hotel Valley Ho Hotel.
Well, there we go.
Oh, thank you, Carl. So we went to the Hotel Valley Ho Hotel. There's some pictures of it and took a tour of downtown Scottsdale. Now, meanwhile, Coco was with us the entire time. She did great in the car, which is great. But, you know, I've been wanting to visit the Valley Ho Hotel for a long time because it's a beautifully stylized mid-century modern hotel built in 1956. And this is where they do the Tiki Oasis show every April, I think it is. But it was super fun. So here's now a little video.
There we go.
So yes, Coco had a great time visiting not only the Yuma, the Desert Lily Quilters, but also she had a great time at the that Hotel Valley Ho, because it's a pet-friendly hotel resort and they welcome pets. And of course, Marianne says, "So glad you got a picture of my whoops." Oh yes. Well, no, that I thought it was nice actually. I thought that was a good whoops, Marianne, when you reversed your Cosmos blocks there, but that's okay. And so anyway, the Hotel Valley Ho was really nice. Coco had a great time down in the lounge because like I said, they're super pet friendly, and they served her, like they wanted to serve her like a special hamburger patty, I think, down by the fire pit.
Well, she had cocktails
and
in
she
the
had
lounge.
cocktails in the lounge with all these crazy women and that were doing a bachelorette party. And we had a great time. So Scottsdale, definitely a must see. Yuma Desert Lily Quilters was really fun. Then we came back. The painters came in. We did interior doors here. In the meantime, I was working on the Aurifil blog and some other things for 2026. And I want to talk about now this quilt that's right behind me. This is just came out. So Carl and I designed a quilt for a magazine. So if you are a subscriber to Quilt Maker magazine, this is in the winter 2026 issue of Quilt Maker magazine. It's called Crisscross Frost. It's a really super easy pattern. I mean, you could actually make this quilt. It's actually a 72 inch by 72 inch quilt. You could make that in probably a week or a couple days. What makes it work is just simply having different values of maybe two different colors or three different colors, as you see going on there, a light, medium, and dark value. And this is a wonderful actually quilt also to take you through the winter season if you want something like that. So this is in Quilt Maker winter 2026 issue. That you will be, if you're not a subscriber, it'll be on newsstands, I think this weekend, if I'm right. And there also are digital PDF downloadable copies of the magazine if you want to go up to the Quilt Maker website and download your own copy. But we're been published again, so there we are in Quilt Maker 2026. And then speaking of Christmas projects also, I like to highlight these, and I have a short tutorial for you on that one on the right. Not yet. But let's talk about first the one on the left, which is the Mod Cat. This is a tutorial I did last year with Benetex Fabrics. And basically we used our Mod Cat pattern. You could use the Mod Dog pattern. You could use the mini Mod Dog pattern. And I just took all these little Christmas fabric scraps that I had, wonky pieced them together, which is what we did at the Desert Lily Quilters in the 1st of December, wonky piecing. And we wonky piece those together, and then you cut your applique shape from that wonky pieced unit. Now, the one on the right side, I'm going to show you a tutorial right now. This is a tutorial from several years ago, but I always love showing it at this time of year because sometimes we're looking for last minute gifts to make for people, or you need a last minute decoration to put on your tabletop. And this is the Easy Braided Table Runner. Now, for some reason, if the video does something funky here, you can find both of these tutorials up on the website. The cat tutorial is Christmas in July, Benetex Fabrics, which is under press and publications of our Colourwerx.com website. The one on the right-hand side, which is Easy Braided Table Runner, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, is also up there under Pattern Helper tutorial. But here goes Easy Braided Table Runner. Get your scraps, because here it goes. So these are orphan 2.5 inch strips that I've cut to 2.5 inches wide by 9 inches long. So 2.5 inches wide by 9 inches long. Now, if you have a bunch of scraps and you want to cut them at 1.5 inches by 11 inches, great. If you want to cut them at 2 inches wide by 12 inches, fine. Whatever your length of your strip is, not necessarily the width, whatever the length of the strip is, meaning if it's 9 inches long, 11 inches long, that will dictate how wide your braided strip can actually get cut down to. So if I'm working with 9 inch long strips, that means I can probably make this about 9 inches wide. If I'm working with 12-inch long strips, then this will probably become a little wider, if that makes sense. So it's very scrap friendly and whatever works. So you start with strips. For the purpose of the table runner, these are 2.5 inch again by 9 inch strips. and I'm just going to move all these aside. So you just cut up a bunch or whatever you have from your scraps. And the way you start piecing this is you're just going to put them perpendicular, 2 strips perpendicular to each other, just like so. So lay out perpendicular. This then flips over, right sides together, and I'm only going to sew from here to here, which is the width of the strip. So that's about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to put those 2 like that, right sides together. I'll bring my other sample in. So here they are, and they get sewn where the pins are. Throw that off. And what does that look like when I get done and actually press it out? It looks like that. So I have something that looks like that. Kind of like a, what is that called? A T angle thing.
Right angle.
A right angle thing, yes. Okay, what do I do next? I take my next scrappy strip or whatever I'm going to put on. And so you're going to start building like this, if that makes sense. It's almost like building a staircase. So you take your next strip, same width, put it right sides together, right on top there, and you're going to sew from the length of the strip. So you're going to start here and sew all the way down the length of the strip. And so when you do that, you get something that looks like this. All right? And all I've done is press out, so you can see everything is starting to press out the same direction, if that makes sense. So the next thing I'm going to do is, instead of adding, I don't add to this side, I'm going to flip to the other side. And I'm going to take my next scrappy strip. It's going to go on, and I call it like capping off. So you're capping off each side, and that goes right sides together, just like that. I sew down the length of the strip, and you don't even have to have a good 1/4 inch seam. If you use the edge of your presser foot, you'll be fine too. As long as you're consistent, as long as it's a straight seam, that creates, voila, something like that. I add my next strip onto the other side, whatever it is. And so I just keep building and building and building, and you just keep going. Now, keep in mind, as you build your braided strip, that anything that's down here at the bottom and anything that's at the other side, meaning the top of your braided strip, whenever you get at the length you want it to be, these are probably going to get chopped off. So put the strips that you don't like, or the ones that you least like, at the bottom and the top. Save your favorite strips for in the middle. Those will get shown the most. So let's see what happens when you get a full strip done. So here I have kind of a sample. This is about as long as I wanted to build it out, because I wanted you guys to be able to see it, basically. So I have my strip. Now you would build this out. You would keep building out onto the top of it, okay, until you get it the length you want it to be. So if you're making placemats, you maybe want this to be about 18, 19, 20 inches long. If you're doing a table runner, just keep building on top until you get to the length you need, or I always add about 6 inches, just in case. And then if you're doing baby quilts, again, you could build 3 of these, and then I'll show you how you straighten these out, then you would just sew them together. So once you get it to the length you want it to be, I usually end up putting my ruler on it, just like so. This is an 8.5 inch ruler. Now, keep in mind, what we're going to do is actually chop off this side, and then straighten the top and bottom. So keep in mind that these places where the braids or where the strips intersect are not necessarily the center of this braid. So what you need to do is actually take your braid, give it a little fold over, and use the point up here and just kind of give it a little crease. And again, this is kind of an eyeball thing. And so because this is an 8.5 inch ruler, if I want to make this braid now 8.5 inches wide, which is what I usually do when I'm using the 2.5 by 9 inch long strips, I will just kind of eyeball this, this ruler into the center of the strip. And because I don't really like to just go ahead and cut and take chances, I'm going to actually draw the line with my Frixion pen. So, because I want to see this before I cut it. So I do this quite a lot when I'm fussy cutting too. I'll draw it in before I cut. So I just want to make sure I'm kind of headed down the center of this braided strip. And I can kind of eyeball, you probably can't see it, it's right here. I just want to be able to eyeball for myself that I'm kind of in the center here. Now, if I wanted to, with these 2.5 by 9 inch strips, if I wanted to come out another 1/2 inch on either side and make it a little bit more wide of a braid and get more use out of my fabric strips, I could do that. Just for this purposes, I thought it would be easier just to put the ruler down. So what I'm going to do is just chop off there. That goes away. Well, let me do this so I don't do something horrible. There we go. So I'm making this 8.5 inches wide. There it is. So now I've got something that's starting to look like a braid. Now, if I'm ready to like finish this off, let's say this goes on and on and on, and I'm making a table runner or even placemats, I need to make sure I have a straight edge here and a straight edge here to add my border fabric on if I wanted to. All I'm going to do up here is come over to the point where I'm not veering in, if that makes sense. I'm lining up a straight line of the ruler to the edge I just cut. Whoosh, that goes away, unfortunately, but you're creating the look. And now you make it the size you need to make it, or you just even it up again. So here I would just even up, and you can see what I mean about put those strips that you don't like or that you least like at the bottom, because you're not going to see much of them. And there you go. I have now what looks to be kind of complicated, but it's not, because you can just see how I made it. And now I can border that. I can put 3 of these together and make a baby quilt, meaning if they were longer, or even a lap quilt. I can, if I had charm packs, this is another idea, the 5-inch squares, you could cut each 5-inch square into 1.5 by 5-inch strips. I think that you would get 4 out of every 5-inch square, and you could make this really neat kind of scrappy looking braid and make a couple of those braided strips and put them together and make a pillow. So those are just some ideas on the braided pieced strip. Let me grab my Halloween thing. So the Halloween table runner was basically, it measures, I think it measures, you can't see the whole thing. I'm going to bet it measures about 40 inches long because it's coming off the cutting board here. And this was just based on the table I put it on and where we displayed things. And then I just like this border print. So I cut it so I could see more of the border print. So this is about 3.5 inches long, 3.5 inches wide, I'm sorry. And then I just, when I straightened out my braid to either side, I just lapped and sewed on the borders and capped it off at the end, and then did some binding with a striped quilt. So there you go. That is easy braided piecing, and it's really fun to do, and it's really great to use all your scraps on. Yes, it is. So it's a super fun project. That tutorial, again, is up on our website if you want to refer to it in your sewing studio under Pattern Helper Tutorials, along with a lot of other video tutorials that are up there. Of course, you can always watch the replay of this Fab Friday broadcast as well to see more about that tutorial if you wanted some more details. I think Coco's back in the room, so we're going to check to see. Oh, yes.
She's turning her back on us.
She's ignoring us. She's upset with us this morning, I think. Something's going on. Maybe because she hasn't had breakfast yet. I think.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think we're in a bit of moody mood.
But there's that cat quilt you talked about earlier.
Yes, that is. That's the other really easy project, is take any one of our wonky piece patterns and use your scraps and wonky piece them together and then cut out your applique shape. Or, for that matter, anytime you find applique shapes like a tree, a Christmas tree in a magazine, or you want to do a circle and make a Christmas ornament, just wonky piece scrap strips together, cut your applique shape from that, and off you go. It just creates a different look to your applique fabric at that point. So we're going to bug out of here, let everybody get back to the holidays. I hope you enjoyed the program, but we are going to talk about what's coming up for 2026. We are going to be at the Road to California show, like I mentioned, but we are also hoping that for Road to California, our new fabric collection from Benetex will be in our hands. This is just coming out to the sales force as we speak, so they'll be selling this to all the various quilt shops throughout the nation. If you like what you're seeing, please, we we would appreciate if you go tell your local fabric shop, your local quilt shop, to order Kaleidoscope Fabrics by Colourwerx for Benetex Fabrics. It's their Benetex fabric representative. But you can see it's a beautifully bright, coloricious collection of all these coordinates. And there's a beautiful butterfly panel there that Carl designed, 20 different butterflies that can be fussy cut out. They are 8-inch by 8-inch square, so they're really usable in anything you want to put them in. We have some free patterns coming out as well. So both of these will be kitted in our shop very soon as we get the fabric in our hot little hands. But we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed too, that this comes in for Road to California a little bit early.
We have Bright Friday.
Bright Friday sale still continues through the weekend. Thank you, Carl. 15% off your entire order at colourwerx.com. And with that, also with 2026 coming, there's the happy holiday thing.
Well, wait a minute.
Well, I want to tell you also that I'm going to be working on the Nature Unfiltered blog. Look at these fabulous fabrics. This is from my fellow designer, Lisa Rubel, for Benetex Fabrics. These are just hitting shops, I think, in the next couple weeks. It's called Nature Unfiltered. She's a big hiker, and Lisa does a lot of her very, very modern looking fabrics like this. So I'm going to be part of her blog hop when that happens in January 2026. And then last but not least, I want to highlight another sneak peek from Thread Matters blog post about decorative stitching. This is going to be featured in the blog post on Aurifil and also my blog about decorative stitching coming after the new year. I think it's January 2nd or something like that. So with that, we want to thank you guys so much for this wonderful 2025 year of support. There's the happy holidays, and there's Carl. So happy holidays, everybody. Enjoy your family.
Oh, there's the camera.
Take some time to rest. Take some time to rest and make sure that you spend a lovely day with family and friends. And happy holidays, everybody. Thank you again. We're going to see you in 2026. I can't believe I'm saying that. January 16th, I believe we will see you again for another edition of Fab Friday. Right before Road to California. But I'll have a new tutorial in January for you all. So happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for checking in today, and thank you for your support. Tell your friends to subscribe to our Colourwerx YouTube channel. We really appreciate it, and see you later. Happy coloring.